Hey guys, here, welcome to another top 5 GTA 5 episode. This one's requested in by Indibori and many of you guys in the previous episode for top 5 best handling cars for GTA 5. Now this is completely down to preference on what cars you feel is the most comfortable to drive with, but in this case for this episode I selected the cars that you can drive the fastest and to be able to control it the best, if that makes sense. So let's get right into this episode without wasting any further time. If you guys do enjoy it, hit that like button, it'll be greatly appreciated. Let me know in the comments below what other top 5s you guys want to see next. So in at the number 5 spot we have the Banshee, and this one is actually a really good car to drive with, especially with its freedom that it has with its handling. And all the cars in this list have its freedom and options and choices that you have in different situations that doesn't limit yourself to certain things, such as sharp turns when necessary at very high speeds to be able to control the car when it doesn't go out of control. For example, there you saw a really awesome barrel roll without a surprise. I'm sure you guys seen this from the previous video that I posted about how to improve your driving skills. But anyway, the Banshee is a really awesome car to drive with. Old school classical from GTA 4 and many other previous GTAs that we've played, and this car has always been a fan favorite for driving around and enjoying the experience at very high speeds, as well as being able to control the car as well. And for example, one way to test out handling, as always, drive against oncoming traffic, and you should be able to control the car with ease. But anyway, number 4 we have the OB9F Cabrio. I was actually hesitating at first of where to actually place this in the list, but I ended up having to put this 4th. That's because the other cars you'll see in this list are slightly better for the comfort zone for actually driving at very high speeds, because this one is slightly more uncomfortable for those of you that don't really enjoy driving at high, or don't really feel comfortable controlling this car at high speeds, because this car is vulnerable to actually skid off and lose control at very high speeds. You need to be really good at driving, in other words, to be able to control this car, to get the maximum potential out of this car, to enjoy that experience. But I definitely do enjoy the experience, but there's times where you just cannot control it at all. Maybe it's just my poor driving skills, but for those of you pro drivers out there, will definitely enjoy the handling on this car and definitely need to be in this top 5 list. Moving to number 3, we have the Comet. This one is a Porsche, we know this, and this one's yet again a similar sort of car to the previous 2 that we just showed. And all the cars in this list have similar features to each other, where it's very driftable. All the cars in this list are very driftable, and that's the key factor to the handling itself, because if a car is very driftable, it's got the freedom of being not very grippy. That's the whole point, not very grippy. Therefore, when it comes to situations you want to evade, or if you want to avoid the situations that you don't want to collide with other cars and whatnot, these are the cars to choose. And I chose this for number 3 spot because it's a fantastic, it's sort of slightly better, slightly more comfortable than the OB9F itself. Similar features to it, and not as fast as the car, but still enjoyable to drive with, and to be able to weave in and out of cars with ease as well. But you need to be careful, if you do clip this car against any other cars, you will easily spin off. So that's the only thing about this car that you need to be concerned about. Just like any other car, but this one is the most vulnerable in that sense. When you have a slight contact, a slight impact with any car at very high speeds as you're trying to weave in and out, you will end up spinning out, and there's nothing you can do about that. So yeah, this is the Comet. But moving on to number 2, we have the Feltzer, the benefactor Feltzer. Slightly more heavier cars out of the list. Because of that, it sort of gives it a perfect balance. Unfortunately, the downside for me not giving this for number 1 spot is because of the size itself. It's very big. So with its sort of features that it has, with the sort of the exterior parts, the bumpers and fenders and whatnot, it kind of gets awkward when trying to weave in and out of cars. But because of its balance with its weight, with all of this exterior parts, it really does give it that ease and comfort to control this car without losing control and spinning out. So that's the reason why it deserved number 2 spot for this list. But as I said, man, kind of does get awkward, and it gets a bit congested and slightly tight between the cars that you want to go past. For example, there, if cars do turn into you, kind of gets difficult to get out of those situations. But definitely a very easy car, very responsive, just like all the cars in this list. It's a pretty difficult list, guys, down to preference really, what you're most comfortable with. Some people are comfortable with the Comet, some people are comfortable with OB9F, some people prefer the Banshee really. So let me know in the comments below what your top 5 would look like. But this is the benefactor Feltzer. Sometimes this will happen. If a car comes in your way, you will end up flying out the window and smashing against a truck. So anyway, number 1 spot had to be the Entity. This slightly may be off tangent to the cars that we just showed, because pretty much the previous 4 cars were sports, but this one's a supercar. And the reason why I put this number 1 spot, because it is the best for handling, no doubt about that, because of the actual design of it, sort of streamlined and very low, so it's very responsive. Now, the weight itself can be questionable, but if you don't clip this car, you can. I mean, let's put it this way: if you clip the car, you can still recover. That's the. It's like sort of stays to the ground. It's very grippy, and at the same time very loose. So it's so responsive. So this way, you can execute certain things that you can't with other cars that I showed you. So weaving in and out of cars is so simple. So I definitely felt that this deserved #1 spot in my eyes, and I'm sure most of you will agree with the fact that a lot of you guys choose this for the supercars and multiplayer racing. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this top 5 episode. Let me know in the comments below what your list look like. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more GTA 5 video and content. Check your sign out. Good night. Peace. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the GTA 5 gameplay commentary. I really wanted to make a commentary about this topic for quite some time now. Now recently, I was playing a bit of GTA 5. I wanted to go for some clips for my next GTA 5 top 5 episode, which was going to be posted later today at 7 p.m.